Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. It's good to see you. A diya or a deepam at a Madurai Temple has sparked off a dramatical political confrontation over the judiciary in Delhi and in Chennai. And today is escalated after the RSS chief and the Home Minister stepped in and fanned the fire. At the center of the storm, ladies and gentlemen, is this one judge. He's the judge of the Madras High Court, who the India bloc, led by the DMK, want impeached. Why is that? Well, because he, according to them, has an ideological bias towards Brahmins and RSS-affiliated advocates and cases. But how did the DMK and the India bloc come to this rather serious conclusion? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the story starts at one of the most sacred temples in Madurai, located at the base of a sacred hill. This is where, for the last 100 years, the Kartigai Deepam has been lit, not at the hilltop stone pillar like it is across Tamil Nadu, but at a mandapam which is a little downhill. That is done to keep peace with the dargah, which is barely 50 meters away from this sacred stone pillar. Now, this has continued for the last 100 years till ruling on a petition, Justice Swaminathan discarded the state government's concerns over law and order and greenlit the lighting of the traditional lamp at this stone pillar. The government blocked the order. Justice Swaminathan struck again and allowed the petitioner, along with 10 other devotees, to light the deepam at the stone pillar and gave them CISF protection. Again, the Stalin government blocked the order. Then came the division bench, which again overruled CM Stalin's concerns, upheld the judgment of Justice Swaminathan, but yet again, ladies and gentlemen, the state government did not buckle. The matter has now reached the Supreme Court, and the DMK and their allies have reached the door of Om Birla, seeking the impeachment of Justice Swaminathan for what they call his complete disregard of constitutional neutrality. Ladies and gentlemen, may I just tell you that this is for the very first time in independent India that a judge's impeachment is being sought for his judgment. And as you can imagine, the fight is more ideological than legal. It has been pitched as a Stalin versus Sanatan battle, a battle for Hindu rights versus secular values. Today, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat stepped right in and said that the awakening of Hindus in Tamil Nadu is enough to resolve the issue. The DMK saw this as a war cry and has accused the RSS and the BJP of trying to create an Ayodhya-like situation in Madurai. Listen in.
I think the issue can be resolved here only on basis of the Hindus' strength in Tamil Nadu only. We will not need to escalate it. But one thing is pakka, that issue will be favorably for Hindus.
The statements made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat is ridiculous. People of Tamil Nadu have been very, very clear. They keep religion and politics separately. The BJP and the RSS portray themselves as that they are the saviors of Hindus, but the BJP and the RSS is just for the upper caste Hindus.
The battle, ladies and gentlemen, only escalated from there on, given that there is a crucial election in Tamil Nadu only next year. Facing heat over seeking the impeachment of a judge just because he greenlit the lighting of a sacred Hindu lamp, the DMK did some backpedaling. They are now saying that the impeachment has not been triggered just by the Deepam verdict, but Justice Swaminathan's past conduct as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here the DMK may have a point because they had submitted a complaint to the Chief Justice of India and the President of India against Swaminathan way back in August. But that is not when they had put in an impeachment motion in process. Now they have. The BJP says Stalin and family are simply following their anti-Sanatan agenda, with Stalin Jr. leading the way after he called Sanatan Dharma dengue and malaria. There's a full-blown political fight now underway. Listen in.
आजादी के इतने साल में नहीं हुआ है मान्यवर कि कोई जज एक जजमेंट दे तो जज के खिलाफ इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं। ये वोट बैंक को संभालने के लिए एक हाईकोर्ट के जज के सामने इंपीचमेंट लेकर आए हैं। देश की जनता उनको मदद नहीं करे।
நீதியரசர் சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்கள் ஒரு தேவையில்லாமல் தலையிட்டு அரசை மீறி ஒரு தீர்ப்பை அவர் வழங்கியிருக்கிறார், கட்டளைகளை பிறப்பித்திருக்கிறார். இதை பயன்படுத்திக் கொண்டு பிஜேபி அங்கே மத கலவரத்தை உருவாக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு சூழலை நாம் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கிறோம்.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the debate continues. My guest this evening, R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. Ratan Sharda is an author affiliated with the RSS as well, joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, sir. Dr. Akashdeep Muni is a political analyst. Thank you very much. Professor Dharmendra Yadav, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Dr. Pulla Rao is a political analyst. He is joining us on the broadcast as well. The DMK said they didn't have speakers to send on the show. What can I say to that, ladies and gentlemen? And the Congress party didn't want to participate despite the fact that they were one of the parties that has sought the impeachment of this judge along with the DMK. What can I say about political parties? They do something and then they don't want to come on television shows to defend it. Dr. Pulla Rao, therefore I ask you, since you're representing the DMK this evening, you've heard what Mohan Bhagwat said, I heard what Mohan Bhagwat said, and I just didn't hear the soundbite that our viewers have heard. I heard his entire speech. Why does the DMK think that what the RSS chief has said today is a war cry to all Hindus? It isn't. He's simply saying the issue will resolve itself because the strength and the awakening of Hindus is enough to do that. He's not saying he's going to intervene or launch a movement like the Ram Mandir movement.
Okay, let me tell you, I represent my own views, not for any party. Anybody has their own views. First of all, I want to ask you, is this the way to go? I know very respected people are there, Mr. Shardan, sir, Mr. Singh. I want to ask them, there are 1,200 High Court judges in India. If they all start working like this, what will happen to this country? He's setting a precedent. You have issues, contentious issues. You have legacy issues. You know, a judge comes, you know, he has achieved his motive. He wants to be famous. He became famous. Just like that Bengal judge, he became famous and then stood for election. If the 1,200 judges, you have 100 judges taking this path, it's very dangerous for the country.
Okay.
Today, there may be a central government. There may be a central government to the liking of some people. And they can, what if there is a government tomorrow, which is a different government? I think you should protect the judiciary first because they have enormous power. No judge, and I don't want to use harsh terms. You separate the cause from the judge.
ठीक है.
You
So
separate the
let's
cause.
just okay.
Don't link the cause to the judge and ennoble the judge.
But Mr. Rao, that is exactly what the DMK government has
Make
done.
him a sanctimonious character. He is not a sanctimonious character.
No, I'm sure he's not.
He should be impartial.
I'm sure he's not. But you've just said don't link the judge to the cause, right? You have just said
Don't
it.
link the judge to
My
the-
point
to
is,
the
what
issue.
was the cause? You're saying that
The
if
cause
judges
was-
start working like this, I'm not here to defend the judge, by the way. He'll defend himself in the Supreme Court and he'll defend himself if anyone takes that impeachment motion seriously. My point to you is, what is, you know, the DMK may have had a problem with the judge, and they have cited many past instances to say that he is biased. He is biased, you know, towards Hindus. He is biased towards Brahmins. He is biased towards RSS advocates and causes. I understand that. You may have a problem with the judge. But why do you have a problem with his judgment? What has he done in his judgment that is so anti-secular? Because secular is a word that has come up repeatedly, not in just in the impeachment letter that has been given, but even in the letter that was given to the President and to the Chief Justice of India.
The other gentlemen seem to be not from Tamil Nadu also. I want to just make a point to you. From 1920,
Correct.
these issues are there in Tamil Nadu. These issues are legacy issues. These are not new issues. It is a new issue for somebody coming and listening to the TV today.
Correct.
Past issues are going on from 1920.
Correct.
And therefore, you have to view it in that mirror. This is not new issues. They said this, they said that. You're trying to heat it up. As the one DMK spokesperson said, in Tamil Nadu, there's a great place for religion. There are 80,000 temples. There is a temple culture, and it is different from politics. Go to the history, 1920, which was the first government in Tamil Nadu when the British held elections. It was a non-Congress government. Let me tell you, all I'm saying here, because I don't want to get caught in somebody's moral crossfire, high-sounding words, I want to tell you that if every judge behaved like, and that future judges will behave like this.
Okay.
They will give judgments which are not dear to some of my friends here. What will they do? These governments are not eternal. Judiciary is eternal.
And
Be
Mr.
very
Pullara,
cautious.
what is the DMK doing? If judges give judgments that they want to, you will threaten and intimidate them and say, you don't give a judgment that we like, we will impeach you. We will get you impeached.
No,
what about the division bench? Ek minute. You are just saying, what about the division bench? It upheld Justice Swaminathan's verdict and judgment. What about those judges?
I don't
impeach
like that
them
line
too.
To be crossed. Impeachment is a very serious issue.
Correct.
I don't like that line to be crossed.
Correct.
Personally.
But that line has been crossed. But Ratan Sharda, come in here. You know, Mr. Pullara, who is not representing the DMK but himself, says there are 1,200 judges. If all judges keep constitutional neutrality to one side and start giving judgments based on their bias, in this case the judge is biased towards Brahmins and RSS leaning people, then what will happen in this country?
Not something worse than happened during Congress time, left times. I will come to that. First of all, let me just clarify what Mohan Bhagwat has said.
Ji.
What he said is history. DK, their friend, Justice Party, used to, slipper Bhagwan Ram and the Ram family on the trucks publicly. That is a condition of Tamil Nadu during those times. Then Hindu Munnani rose. It made such strong protest when Vinayaka procession was not allowed. Finally, Vinayaka procession became the biggest processions, and it was done by the people. Nilakal Cross 1983, when they planted cross all over Sabrimala path, Hindus stood up and stopped it. Okay. Sabrimala, Hindus stood up and stopped it. So it's not RSS, it is Hindu society which is stand up. Yes, RSS created atmosphere where Hindus realized they have got strength. Coming to these judges, you will decide judges whether it's bias or not. It is the emergency mindset. In emergency, Justice Jagmohan lost any raised to the higher courts. Justice Lalita Nagpur said people have democratic rights, lost his path on the way to Supreme Court. Supreme Court judges superseded because they said something which was not suitable to Indira-ji. And she wanted a committed judiciary. Today, Rahul Gandhi openly in every forum threatens Election Commission saying that I will look at you when I come to power. Okay. We will teach you what to do. So this is the condition of India Alliance where they threaten everybody. So your ideology decides whether a judge is right. Sorry, sir. We didn't criticize judges went or impeachment when judgments went against the Hindu cause. But we respect judiciary. You just make a drama.
Okay, but here's the point that the Stalin government is making, and many people will say it is the right point to make for a government. If it comes to law and order in the state of Tamil Nadu, whose responsibility is it? It is the DMK government's responsibility. Therefore, they are saying, why create any bakheda? For the last 100 years, if the Deepam has been lit at a particular place and not at the sacred stone pillar, and and if that is the way it has continued, what is the harm in letting it continue for the next 100 years? You try and light it near the dargah, there will be some, there will be some law and order situation created, some communal situation created, and then you will blame the Tamil Nadu government. So what the Tamil Nadu government, they are arguing, is doing is simply ensuring that law and order and religious harmony remains in the state. What is the problem in that? The accusation is that the BJP is trying to create an Ayodhya-like situation in Madurai.
Come to the hub of this problem. This problem is only with Hindus. They have to go to courts every time they have to celebrate any festival, whether it's Kolkata, whether it's Chennai, whether it's Trivandrum, wherever. Because they have to keep the peace. Others have no duty at all to keep the peace. So if you by mistake go to some place where it's so-called minority, you have a problem. In Kumbhakonam 2024, Muslims objected to Rath Yatra saying we will not allow to go to the pond. Then we had 2018 Christians objecting to Brihadeshwar Temple procession, which is centuries old, saying our church falls on that. What was before the church and what was before Dargah? Hindu religion, Hindu place of worship. So Hindus have to go to court every time something happens. Dharamstala, you can create an entire problem. You can create arrest Kanchi Kamkoti, Shankaracharya. So this strange secular animal, which crossbreed of Western ideology, churchism, midwifed by Nehru. That is the mindset that created an animal by genetic, which will say everything non-Hindu, anti-Hindu is great secularism. Anything you can speak about non-Hindus becomes a secular issue. That is the problem with our mindset.
Ratan Chadha ji, but I'm a secularist and I'm a proud secularist, but I'm not an anti-Hindu.
You should be.
है ना? सही.
Yes.
I think the word secularism gets abused a lot.
You.
So, I mean, I have no problems admitting I'm secular.
Debate without showing bias. I respect you for that.
Dr. Dharmendra Yadav, therefore I come to the crux of the problem. So we have, what we have spoken about is what RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has said. The DMK has interpreted it as a war cry. Was it a war cry? It certainly wasn't a war cry. Second thing is the DMK overreacting and showing its bias when it says, let's impeach the judge? Possibly they are. Therefore, Dharmendra ji, आप मुझे बताइए, मुद्दे पे आते हैं, ठीक है? मुद्दे के क्रक्स पे क्या है? मुद्दे के क्रक्स पे ये है कि एक दिया जलना है, एक लाइट जलनी है। दिया तो छोटा होता है, ये बड़ी लाइट होती है। बड़ी लाइट जलनी है, ये एक पावन दिन पे जलती है और इसके जलने की जो जगह है वो एक दरगाह के पास है, ठीक है? वो दरगाह के अंदर नहीं है, वो दरगाह से 50 मीटर की दूरी पे है। नाउ इफ अ जज धर्मेंद्र जी सेज, ठीक है, 100 साल से जो हो रहा है, बट समय अब क्योंकि हिंदूज आए हैं हमारे पास, पेटिशन आई है और मुझे नहीं लगता कि इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है कि आप जाके जहां पे आज से 100 साल पहले वो दिया जलाया जाता था वहां पे जला दीजिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है हमें। और मुसलमानों को क्यों प्रॉब्लम होगी और दरगाह को क्यों प्रॉब्लम होगी? क्योंकि जो हिल है वो टेंपल की हिल है और दरगाह के अंदर तो वैसे भी दीपम जलाने की कोई बात नहीं कर रहा है। तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? डीएमके को, आपको, क्योंकि आपके लीडर भी थे इंपीचमेंट का जब पिटीशन डाला जा रहा था, प्रॉब्लम क्या है इसमें?
श्रेया जी, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ,
हाँ,
उसको बैन किया था सरदार पटेल साहब ने, जिसको भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपना आइडियल मानती है।
ठीक है,
तो कुछ तो गड़बड़ियां होंगी उसमें। एक और फैक्ट मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि भारत की इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो में और रॉ में आरएसएस विचारधारा के लोगों को नहीं लिया जाता है।
बहुत अच्छी
और
बात।
जब आदरणीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने फुल फ्लेज 5 साल के लिए, उस नियम को उन्होंने भी नहीं बदला। तो कुछ ना कुछ तो क्रक्स उनके अंदर भी होगा, संघ के अंदर भी होगा, कि जो देश को अनस्टेबल करना है। जिस प्रदेश में चुनाव होंगे वहां दिया जलाने की बात करेंगे, जिस प्रदेश में चुनाव होंगे वहां मस्जिद के नीचे मंदिर खोजने की बात करेंगे। तो सवाल बस वहीं आकर रुक जाता है कि देश की प्रोग्रेसिव जो सोच है उसमें बाधा बनना भारतीय जनता पार्टी की परंपरा है। सबसे बड़े आइडियल अगर हिंदू धर्म के कोई हैं तो स्वामी विवेकानंद है। स्वामी विवेकानंद ने शिकागो में जो भाषण दिया वो इंग्लिश में दिया था, लेकिन संघ के लोग कहते हैं इंग्लिश मत बोलो। तो ये तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को तय करना होगा कि वो हिंदू धर्म के साथ हैं या अपने फायदे के साथ हैं। जब जब अपने फायदे के लिए हिंदू धर्म को ढाल बनाते हैं, हम देश को जागरूक करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि देखिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी और संघ के लोग देश को गुमराह करके अपना चुनावी फायदा लेना चाहते हैं। जब चुनाव आता है तभी इनको क्या याद आता है? पूजा, दिया, मंदिर, मस्जिद। इससे पहले याद नहीं आता इनको। आप बताइए, नागपुर से दिया जला दो, एक क्या दिक्कत है? भगवान राम नागपुर में भी है तो वहां भी जला दो एक दिया।
नहीं, दिए आप 10 जलाइए। नहीं, मैं आपको एक बात बताती हूँ। एज अ वोटिंग सिटीजन ऑफ दिस कंट्री, लेट मी टेल यू धर्मेंद्र यादव जी, चाहे बीजेपी हो या समाजवादी पार्टी हो या कांग्रेस हो, ना हिंदू के साथ, ना मुसलमान के साथ, ना क्रिश्चियन के साथ, ना सिख के साथ, वो सिर्फ अपने साथ होती है। एटलीस्ट वोटर्स, हम जो वोटर्स हैं हम यही सोचते हैं। लेकिन मैं आपसे फिर पूछ रही हूं, मेरा सवाल, आप जो बोल रहे हैं आप इसको इलेक्शन से लिंक कर रहे हैं। आप कह रहे हैं अगले साल तमिलनाडु हैज एन इलेक्शन, विच इज व्हाई द बीजेपी इज क्रिएटिंग दिस बखेड़ा दैट दे आर। बट अगेन आई एम आस्किंग यू अ सिंपल क्वेश्चन। दिस जज who the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, the DMK and all their allies want impeached, is not saying, go light this Deepam or Diya at the Dargah. He's saying light where it was traditionally lit, which is 50 meters away from the Dargah. I want to ask you what the problem in that judgment is. इतनी बड़ी क्या problem हो गई that he should be sacked, impeached? इंपीचमेंट बहुत बड़ी बात होती है देश के इतिहास में। ये पहली बार हो रहा है यादव जी, पहली बार हो रहा है कि किसी जज को अपने जजमेंट के लिए इंपीचमेंट फेस करना पड़ रहा है।
श्रेया जी, इस बात के दूसरे एस्पेक्ट को अगर आप सोचेंगी और देश और जनता के सामने रखने की कोशिश करेंगी तो ये तो बहुत सेम की बात है किसी जज के लिए कि उसके खिलाफ इंपीचमेंट मोशन क्यों ला रहे हैं। जितने मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट ला रहे हैं उनका विशेषाधिकार है और उनको चुना है देश की जनता ने। जिस जनता ने वोट देके उन्हें पार्लियामेंट में भेजा है तो अपने विशेषाधिकार का प्रयोग करेंगे वो। तो जब एक सिटीजन के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, किसी धर्म के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं है आप।
नहीं,
आपको ये बताना पड़ेगा। जस्टिस वर्मा, सुन लीजिए 10 सेकंड, जस्टिस वर्मा के बारे में भी आपने सुना होगा। जस्टिस वर्मा के घर में कैश मिला और कैश जला हुआ मिला। क्या जस्टिस वर्मा के खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई हो तो हमें मान के चलें कि जस्टिस है,
हो तो रही है, जिसकी उनके तो खिलाफ इम्पीचमेंट होना चाहिए, मोशन जो चल रहा है।
आपके हिसाब से तो नहीं होना चाहिए, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूं। अगर कोई डाउट है किसी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, किसी पार्टी के अंदर, किसी आइडियोलॉजी के अंदर, क्यों ना इम्पीचमेंट मोशन लाया जाए, बताइए मुझे।
नहीं,
आपकी क्या सहानुभूति है साहब से?
नहीं, मैं आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जज को शर्म आनी चाहिए कि उनके खिलाफ इम्पीचमेंट मोशन है। जस्टिस स्वामीनाथन को शर्म आनी चाहिए, डीएमके को शर्म नहीं आनी चाहिए कि इस तरह से जुडिशरी को धमका रहे हैं। मैं वही कह रही हूं, अगर उनको जज से प्रॉब्लम है, जजमेंट से क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मेरा सवाल नहीं रुकिए, मैं अभी रुक जाइए यादव जी। मेरा सवाल सिंपल था कि आपको जज से प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है। मे बी ही हैज अ प्रो हिंदू बायस, मे बी ही डज, but you know, there are things, जैसे he had a judgment where he favored the Sufis during a dispute over Muharram. He said fundamental rights are more important than fundamentalism. ये सब चीजें भी इसी जज ने बोली हैं। But anyway, RP Singh जी, the charge by the opposition against the BJP and the RSS is कि इनको मंदिर मस्जिद दिया तभी याद आता है जब किसी स्टेट में इलेक्शन है। ये बखेड़ा इन्हीं लोगों का खड़ा किया हुआ है। How do you respond to that?
श्रेया, इशू ये है कि ये हमारे कारण से नहीं हो रहा। कुछ लोग गए, कोर्ट में गए और कोर्ट में जाकर उन्होंने गुहार लगाई। जज साहब ने कहा अच्छा, बहुत संख्या में, कुल मिलाकर 10 सनातनी हिंदू जाकर दिया जलाएं। ये नहीं, और वो भी पुलिस की, सीएसएफ की निगरानी में, अंडर दी surveillance of the CISF and police. Only 10. Imagine in India, you have to beg for letting the diya as per the festival, which is there since 2200 years old festival. And Dargah came some 400 years ago. So imagine this. I mean, and one has to go and beg for that. And if courts just order, and not the single bench, not only Mr. Swaminathan, double bench gave an order. They are not moved against the double bench. Correct. They can't. Because they want to, actually the problem is these are dynastic families. These are, give me, these are dynastic parties. Akhilesh Yadav, Vadras and Gandhis, Stalin. Well, they can't afford, they can't think this way. I mean, for them, it is unimaginable that anyone can deny them or anyone can refute them.
Okay. No, there is a certain degree of Dadagiri when you block not just one court order, but 3 court orders. And therefore, Akashdeep Muni, I ask you, ideological signaling, if it is coming from the judiciary, is a problem. But ideological signaling, if it is coming from a ruling government, that is a problem as well. So I want to ask you, who has done the ideological signaling which is so problematic? Is it Justice Swaminathan or is it the DMK government?
See, Shreya ji, we have to look at this topic very logically. People who are talking here about Hindu, Muslim, Christian, they're worried. They can be worried about religion only. They're not worried about unemployment. That's okay. But what Bhagwat ji said himself noted today, the issue is sub judice. Yet he proposed bypassing courts via communal pressure. This erodes Article 32, right to constitutional remedies and judicial review.
How? The state government can block not one, but not 2, but 3 high court orders. That is not problematic. But what Mohan Bhagwat says, which is a pretty plain Jane vanilla statement, that is problematic.
No, this is a plain Jane, you are wrong in this. I'm quoting, he said Hindu strength rhetoric could incite vigilantism. Framing a judicial matter as Hindu versus others matters criminalizes a routine festival practice. And BJP has done it previously in Sabarimala case when they were protesting against women entry into temples. I don't know you are for it or against it. But anyway, coming to the impeachment topic. As said in numerous court judgments of Honorable Supreme Court, multiple bench, Judges should deter getting involved into ecclesiastical matters, in matters of religion, matters of theology.
Acha.
However,
Mr.
impeachment process, now let me complete. Impeachment process, on impeachment process, the purpose of this impeachment is really when there are matters of high corruption, moral turpitude, there only it should be implemented. Here, on somebody's ideology or personal judgment, I personally believe.
Very good. So even you believe, as someone who generally sympathizes with the Congress point of view, that impeachment is too strong an action to be demanded against a judge for his judgment. I agree with you there. I absolutely agree with you there. But again, is the DMK government taking it too far? And are they actually intimidating the judiciary by ensuring that a judge who gives a judgment that is not to their liking, well, at least the process of impeachment they can initiate. Whether it goes anywhere or not is another issue. So the DMK government too has to look within its own heart and see what they are doing. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I think we've heard all points of view, so I'm going to thank my guests. Ratan Shardaji, thank you. R.P. Singh, Dr. Muni, Professor Dharmendra Yadav, and Dr. Pullara, thank you very much for joining us. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There's more on the other side. Do stay with us.